Hello everyone, this is Greg. Today I'm going to talk about timelines. This is a video that I've been wanting to make for some time, and people have been asking me about some things, and I feel like this is the perfect time because we're getting very close to the convergence, which we're going to discuss in detail. So these are the three main timelines that right now we're focused on: is the 3D timeline, the 4D timeline, and the 5D timeline. Okay. So the 3D timeline is what we've been in for a very long time, and we're exiting out of this. As you can see, this is the exit of the 3D matrix system. Okay? What we are right now is in the fourth dimensional consciousness as a collective. Now there are people in the fifth dimensional right now. There are people in the third dimension right now, but the collective consciousness, the majority is in the fourth dimension right now, which is like the bridge. But the fourth dimension is the bridge between the third and the fifth. Okay, the 3D is all about materialism, ego, violence, and the 5D is about love. Okay, now here's the one thing that is very important is to understand that there is going to come a time where the 4D, we're getting very close to this, by the way. There is going to be a time where the 4D and the 5D are going to converge into the 5D timeline. So it's going to be that one timeline. And when I mean one timeline, I mean one collective timeline. But even within these timelines, there's trillions of timelines. So for example, like the third dimension has trillions of timelines, infinite, just like the fourth and the fifth. And it's because there's free will. So it depends on how you move. You can move this way or that way. It all depends within this dimension. Okay? So it's not just one thing straight that you're just going into. Within this collective, there are so many different ways to get to that, different points. Okay? So just know that it's not fixed. Nothing is fixed. Even the fifth dimensional convergence, the time is not fixed. There's many civilizations that have discussed this, the convergence, but gave dates and so forth that has not taken place. It's because there's no date, okay? It's on certain events that have to take place, and we have to reach certain milestones as a collective consciousness, and then the convergence happens, okay? And we are getting extremely close to this, like I said, very close to this. And this is why there is such a panic going on, because the powers that be know that this is happening, and they're trying to shift this into this. Okay, and they want the 3D timeline to not go away. They want it to be intact, and they want to control humanity forever. You know, they try to use technologies, they try to use medicine, they try to use, the news, they try to use everything to create confusion, to create darkness, so then we do not transition into this, or this convergence does not take place. But they do know, but because of their ego, they think that they can kind of unlock this 5D convergence. So this timeline is locked. It's going to take place no matter what. Okay? And nothing's going to stop it. It's just things can get delayed, but nothing will stop it. Okay? So this convergence is going to take place. Now, what we want to do, the people that are awake, what we want to do is we want to bring as many from the fourth dimension, time, consciousness, frequency, into the fifth dimension. We're trying to help these people cross over. The people that are in the third dimension, some of them are crossing over to the fourth, but the majority of them are just going to exit the planet, okay? They're going to go to a different timeline, they're going to exit the planet, and they're going to continue this whole reincarnation cycle and so forth until they are ready, until the next time comes, until the next cycle. Because this is all cycles. It comes a certain time during every thousands of years that it shifts. Everything shifts, and people are given the opportunity to ascend. Okay? It's like every 12,000, 13, I don't know the exact number, but I do know that every few, like a certain time period, it changes a cycle, and people are given a chance to ascend. So our main thing right now is we're trying to get as many people, because the collective consciousness, a lot of them is in the fourth dimension, and we're trying to help out people transition. And the fourth dimension is very confusing. It's a transitional state, so you don't know exactly what's going to happen in the future. You don't know what to do, how to plan things. Do you go to this job? Do you go to that job? Are you supposed to go here, go live here, or stay where you are? It's the transition. That's why it's very complicated and confusing. The third dimension, everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone's locked into the matrix. So they kind of know what's going on. You wake up, you go to work, you do this, you do that, and then you come home and you sleep. So it's very stable in a sense, right? And the fifth dimension, it's all love, it's peace, it's quiet, it's a high frequency, right? It's connection through your heart, through source. You know the connection, you know everything comes to you, live in the now. But the fourth dimension, where we are right now, is all types of confusion, because what happens also in this fourth dimension is that systems break down, technology breaks down, the people break down, policies break down, governments break down. So everything is breaking down because it is going into the convergence. Because in the convergence, when we go into the fifth dimensional consciousness, we're going to have new systems, new ways of living, new ways of doing things, okay? And there's going to be a lot of growing pains, okay, going along, because it's not easy. It's not easy to go into another dimension and think that, okay, everything's been fixed. Now, when we get closer to this convergence, you're going to see the earth make massive, intense physical changes. It's already happening. Everything that's happening, majority of it is the earth shifting and changing. It has nothing to do with, I mean, they do play a role in changing things, but it has nothing to do with the humans, okay? What they're saying humans are causing is bogus. Nothing to do with that. It has to do with the earth shifting. The poles are going to flip, okay? And when the poles flip, it causes chaos environmentally, okay? So this is what's really taking place right now. Because the pole flip we're getting closer to the pole flip, we're getting closer to the sun blasting, and we're getting very closer to the convergence. They all come into play. And it all has to do with the rising of the consciousness, okay? And once these things take place, you're going to see a new consciousness on this planet, okay? And the mother is ready for this. The mother, I'm talking about the planet, is getting ready for this convergence. She's already ready. She has been ready for a long time. But what we're doing is we're trying to, bring in all these light codes into the gateways so we can expedite this convergence, okay? Now understand that if you are in the fourth dimensional and you're trying to get into the fifth dimension, you have to let go of the 3D. Regardless if it's people, if it's places, if it's situations, if it's agendas, because the third dimension right now is in complete chaos, disarray, distortion at its finest. Okay, it's being exposed. The light that's coming in is exposing the entire 3D matrix grid. The veil is lifting, okay? It just keeps lifting. It continues to lift until it completely drops, okay? And when it drops, it's going to be bye-bye, because the fourth is going to be converging exactly at the same time with the fifth, and the third three is going to leave, okay? And remember, no matter what takes place, this is going to happen. It just depends on us how fast we want to go and how easy do we want to make the transition. It's all on us. The more we hold on to this 3D and all this chaos that's going on, the worse it gets here, okay? So we need to let go, because right now what's happening, a lot of division, wars, famine, everything you're going to see all of it. It's going to be a little bit challenging, okay? What's coming next is going to be very challenging. The coronavirus was just practice. It was just a practice, okay? So they were practicing because they know we're very close to this. They're going to try to do another event, okay? It might be two, but I think there's one major one coming. It's going to create a lot of challenging situations for all of us, but the most important thing to know is if you want to get over this and prepare for the fifth dimensional consciousness, the convergence, what you need to do is go inside your heart. Connect to source, go inside your heart, don't live in fear, know that everything is alright. If you have the connection to source, God, then you are going to be fine. There's nothing to worry about. It does not matter your situation. It does not matter where you are. It does not matter if there's violence all around. Just understand that if you are connected, you will be fine. They want you to think that this is in power. The three-dimensional timeline is in power. But it's not. It's not. You can see it yourself. It's crumbling. Everywhere you look is crumbling. Even the agendas that they're playing out right now, it's not working out like it used to 10, 20 years ago. It's because we are here now. We're in the 4D timeline. Collectively, we're not here anymore. So it's not working out as it used to. So like I said, they're trying to flip this into the 3D and lock it. So if they lock it, they can harvest our energy continuously forever. Forever, okay? Until source shuts it off. But they hope to do this, but they cannot succeed because they're just so disconnected from source that it's just not going to happen. Okay, and we came here so we can show people about this. This is our main thing. We can't focus on this. This is not in our control, okay? This is in their control. This is in our control. This is what we can focus on. This is what we can do. We can create. We can make things better. We can help people. We can open up our hearts, right? This is what we can do. You cannot go into this chaos, the three-dimensional chaos, and try to explain these to people of the conversions about love, because what happens is they get more angry. What happens is they get triggered, right? So they don't like it. They don't like for you to tell them that they live in the matrix. The only way this works is if the person is in the fourth dimension. If the person is in the fourth dimensional consciousness, then they're willing to open up. They're more open-minded. So then you can explain to them these situations. If they're in the fifth, it's very easy. It's a frequency thing. It matches. You don't really have to try. It's just flow, like divine flow. But in the fourth dimension, you can start explaining things to people, what's taking place, what they need to do, how to prepare. But in the 3D, you can't. You just gotta let it be. You gotta let it be, because this already has its path. Okay? The collective has its path of where it's gonna go. It can go, like I said, there's many timelines. It could go in different ways, but the end game is the same. Just like the fourth. It could go many ways. The end game is the same. The fifth dimensional convergence, same. Many ways, but end game same. So if you try to go into this and trying to fix this is creating friction. You are going to lower the collective consciousness by doing this. So understand that whatever is taking place, no matter how painful it is, no matter how horrible it is, understand that it is being done by this matrix system, okay? And it's being done so it doesn't bring you into this conversion. It's trying to shoot you off that path. Especially in the fourth dimension, they know that the people that are in the fifth dimensional frequency that are in there, they know they cannot mess with them. They know that for the most part, they're already locked into that. The ones that are in 40 that are in the bridge, right? They're in the bridge. They're trying to, their feet, one feet is in this direction and one feet is in the other direction. They're trying to pull them over into the 3D, like, hey, don't go there. That's not real. That's not happening. We're in power. We control everything. We control the universe. So come back into the 3D. And they're hoping that if they could get enough people in the 4D, the collective, that's what we are in right now. If they can get a majority back into this, that, oh, they could maybe flip this. And they're hoping that when the pole flip happens, that the collective consciousness will be in such a low frequency of fear that the convergence does not happen. That they want it to be a negative experience. Okay? They want it to be an extremely negative experience. So they're trying to bring as much fear and chaos as possible. So this is very important to know. This is very important to know how this works. It's very important to know where you are. It's very important to know who to discuss this with, who to try to bring over. Because sometimes it doesn't matter if it's your family member, if it's your sister, if it's your mother, if it's your cousin, if it's your friend. It does not matter. Because it does not matter who they are biologically or physically. It matters where they are frequency-wise. So whoever you meet, it's all frequency. Nothing else exists, okay? It's only the frequency. Is this person's frequency in the fourth dimension, where you can discuss? Is this person in the third dimension, where you can't discuss? Or are they in the 5D, where it's divine, you know, it flows easy, okay? So this is all you gotta worry. Right now, going forward, it's all gonna be about the frequency the person holds. Okay, if you're vibrating at a higher frequency, this convergence is going to be easy for you. Even if it crumbles, everything crashes, you know what's coming. You're prepared for it, right? If you're in the 4D, you're not so sure which way, what's happening, but you know something is happening, but you're going to get help. Just be open to it, and we're going to help you with this convergence, okay? So this is mainly what I wanted to talk about, is just something that I know a lot of people want to understand how things work and what is going on and what is the end game. Okay? Just know that the end game, no matter how chaotic or apocalyptic it looks, is just the unveiling of everything. Okay? Everything is going to be unveiled. That's what it is. This is how it is. It's complicated. It's frustrating, but this is the way we get here. Okay? And we are getting very close. And the more you open up and the more you have discernment, don't believe everything they say. Okay, discernment. You have to know. You have to see the distortion that exists. Okay, everything, the race card, the whole everything is all just distortion. Okay, no matter what they try to, all this division they try to do is all distortion. It's all, you have to have discernment. You understand, okay, I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this matrix anymore. I'm done. I'm getting prepared. I'm getting myself prepared for the convergence because it's happening. And you are going to know when this convergence is getting close when you start seeing the earth having big changes. And I'm saying massive changes where it's going to look like the end of the world. That's when you know we're very close to the convergence. And once we get close, which it's going to be kind of obvious to everybody, but I will let everyone know too when we're getting closer and closer. So I'm mostly like studying everything. Physically, spiritually, connecting, getting information, all of it. I'm putting it all together. And because I'm getting ready for this and I want people to be prepared, it's very important to prepare for this. So I hope this video really helped you guys. If you guys have any questions, always let me know. And we're going to make it, okay? Just know we're going to make it. Everything's going to be good. It might be a little challenging. And remember, the challenging part is just going to be short term. It's not going to be long term. It's going to be very short term where it's just going to burst. And then we have our 5th dimensional new earth. Okay? Sending everybody much love and light, and many blessings. Thank you.